Hello and welcome to Bodhran Basics. I'm Matt DeBlas and today we're going to talk about singing with the bodhran. I've talked about accompanying songs with the bodhran, but I wanted to kind of specifically address using the bodhran as an accompaniment instrument for solo voice. You see, there are a number of singers who use the drum, notably Christy Moore of solo fame and also with Planksty and various other groups would sometimes sing and play bodhran, or switching out from guitar, and still does in his live performances. And with the band, he would swap between bodhran and guitar as accompaniment. Also, Kevin Conniff of the Chieftains, who would again play bodhran and various percussion for their instrumental pieces, would also sing and play at the same time. But you'll even see it sometimes in more like non-traditional, like pop music. Imelda May, in some of her rockabilly stuff, would bring out the bodhran and play sometimes. And you've probably seen it in kind of, how to put this politely, bad folk acts where you've got a singer and the singer wants something to do with their hands during the instrumental breaks, so they grab a bodhran and pound on it like one of those little cymbal monkeys. I'm slightly biased, obviously, because I think percussion instruments deserve a little more respect, and I would advise you don't do that, but since you're watching these videos, you probably take your drumming a little bit more seriously than that. So don't be the person who just picks up a drum because it's easy, and you can do it, while you sing because you don't have to learn guitar chords. It is easier in that you don't have to learn a bunch of guitar chords or piano chords or all that and memorize them for the song, but in a way it can be harder because one of the things that a chorded instrument or a pitched instrument has an advantage as an accompaniment instrument for voice is that it provides you with a steady sense of pitch. Whereas the drum, if you're singing with just the drum, you're basically singing accompanied kind of a cappella, and your sense of pitch is all on you. So if you're going to drift and go sharp or flat over the course of a song, you don't have an instrument to kind of like keep you on pitch, which means you should be fairly comfortable singing and maintaining your own sense of pitch before you decide you want to try singing with just a drum. You can get a little help in that the drum you can get a little bit of a pitch from the drum, but it's not as strong a sense as like a guitar chord would be, or piano, or even a full band. So that makes it, in some sense, a bit harder than just singing with a regular strummed accompaniment instrument. That being said, let's do it. I'm going to take a song that I'm not super familiar with, but I've played around with before. Krishkin Lan, which I learned from the singing of the Clancy Brothers, probably on a cassette tape in the 90s. I've known the words for a long time, but never really did anything with it. I did kind of play around with it a little bit beforehand to see if it would work, first of all, but we're basically going to be going through this in real time. I've decided I'm going to use this multi-rod tipper to accompany my singing on my Brendan White drum for this particular one, because I think gives the right combination of kind of a dryness and a little bit softer attack, which I think works well with the voice, but I've used various tippers and various drums, whatever. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just sing through a verse and a chorus of the song to get a sense of the rhythm and the structure of it. So the song goes a bit like this, and before I even start, there's bits in Irish Gaelic. I am from New Jersey, so if my pronunciation is terrible, sorry. In my defense, I did learn it from listening to other people sing it, so maybe it's my fault, whatever. But I'll do my best. Let the farmer praise his grounds, let the huntsman praise his hounds, the shepherd praise his dewy scented lawn. But I'm more wise than they, spend each happy night and day with my darling little Krishkin Lan, 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 my darling little Krishkin Lan. Grama cream a Krishkin schlant a girl my varning, grama cream a Krishkin Lan, 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 grama cream a Krishkin Lan. So let's look at the basic rhythm is a hornpipe type shuffle rhythm. So it's dumpty 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 dump. So farmer praise his grounds, let the huntsman praise his hounds, the shepherd praise his dewy scented lawn. But I'm a wasin' day, spend each happy night and day with my darling little Crushkeen lon, 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 my darling little Crushkeen lon. Grama cream a Crushkeen, schlant a gulma varning, grama cream a Crushkeen lon, 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 grama cream a Crushkeen lon. Alright, so that works. It's boring, but it works. So let's look at adding some interest to it rhythmically. Let's specifically look at the chorus. By the way, Crushkeen Lawn is basically a whiskey jug, like a little brown moonshine jug, and the chorus in Gaelic is, I don't know the direct translation, but it's with wishing a health and a long life to your beloved little brown jug of whiskey. So, or wine. This might actually be wine as well. So it's a drinking song. But anyway, so Grama cream a Crushkeen, schlant a gulma varning. Alright, that's pretty straightforward. Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, lon, lon. Now that lon, 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 where we repeat that in kind of an ascending lon, lon, lon. I think it just kind of goes up the scale there. That's an interesting point that we can add a little emphasis to. Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, lon, lon. We can Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, lon, lon. Emphasize those. But that sounds a little empty, so what I think I'm going to do is add a triplet there. Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, lon, lon. Alright, so Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, lon, lon. Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon. And maybe I'll just add a little triplet in there for interest in the turnaround. So the chorus is going to be Grama cream a Crushkeen, schlant a gulma varning, Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, 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 Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon. Okay, so now we've got a little bit more than just a plain dumpty 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 dump rhythm. We've got a little bit of variety and accents. So if we put the verse and chorus together, and I'll add some triplets in again, and maybe a couple of pauses. Let the farmer praise his grounds, let the huntsman praise his hounds, the shepherd praise his dewy scented land. And I'm a wasin' day, spend each happy night and day with my darling little Crushkeen, lon, 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 my darling little Crushkeen, lon. Grama cream a Crushkeen, schlant a gulma varning, Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, 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 Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon. Alright, so that's a little more interesting. Now let's talk about the left hand, because right now I've just been playing with it flat and muted. And I'm going to, like I have in the past, think about this in drum kit terms as your bass and snare. The mostly open tone with just the thumb resting on the edge here, your bass drum, and then the closed tone with the tipper striking right over where the palm of the hand is when it's closed will be your snare drum. And we're going to kind of turn it into a bit of a shuffle, like almost like a jazz or blues shuffle. So, let the farmer praise his grounds, let the huntsman praise his hounds, the shepherd praise his dewy scented land. But I'm a wasin' day, spend each happy night and day with my darling little Crushkeen, lon, 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 my darling little Crushkeen, lon. Grama cream a Crushkeen, schlant a gulma varning, Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon, 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 Grama cream a Crushkeen, lon. Alright, so now we're getting somewhere. You've got rhythmic interest, you've got some tonal differences, creating a sense of a backbeat and a sense of movement and support, and it's enough texture to fill in the gaps between where the voice and give the voice some support, but it's not so crowded and cluttered and busy that it gets in the way. Because one of the key things about playing accompaniment, even when you're accompanying yourself, is that accompaniment is accompaniment. It is the side dish. It is not the main course. It is there to support. It is there to make the featured instrument, which in this case is a voice, sound better, and give it a give it a firm foundation to work on, but it's not there to be showy-offy. I mean, you could let the farmer praise his hounds, let the husband praise his hounds, shepherd praises to his hunted land. I'm a wise and they spend each happy night and day. Down little crush, lan lan lan. Down little crush, lan. You can do something like that. That's terrible. Probably. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with that later. But for the sake of, just making a drinking song that people can sing along with, let the farmer praise his hounds, let the husband praise his hounds, shepherd praises to his son and land. I'm more ways than they spend each happy night and day with my darling little Krushkeen, nan nan nan, my darling little Krushkeen, nan. Drama cream a Krushkeen, shanta come of awning, drama cream a Krushkeen, lan nan nan, drama cream a Krushkeen, lan. So that is Krushkeen lan, and basically, like I said, I'm kind of working this out in real time with you. So this is kind of the thought process behind creating an accompaniment pattern for a song. I do have songs that I've been singing for a long time that I do use the Bodhran for, and I've got a little more developed and possibly a little less sloppy accompaniments that I'll do with them. For example, the Robert Burns Scottish song, The Battle of Sheriffmuir, is kind of it's a very warlike song, and my Bodhran technique is very kind of like a snare or a marching drum, where I don't actually do much with my left hand. I kind of keep it in the kind of open position and play double-ended rolls, and that will go something like, "Oh, came you here the fight to shun, heard the sheep with me, man, came you by the Sheriffmuir and did the battle see, man, saw the battle thorough too, drinking red and many a shoot, my heart for fear gave to pursue, to hear the suds and see the cluds, and frae woods and tarts and duds, what plundered kingdoms three, man, hey dum rum, hey dum dum, hey dum rum, hey man, hey dum rum, hey dum dum, hey dum rum, hey man." So again, that's more, big bold marching drum type feel to it. Or the Blarney Roses, which is another song I'm trying to remember who I learned that from. But anyway, is more of a jig pattern. And in that one, you've got two choices, or several choices for the jig pattern. There's the kind of down, up, down, straight ahead. Or there's the down, up, down, up, down, up. And I, in that case, would use the second one, the bump ba da da. I should come up with names for these. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? Some say down in Limerick town and more say in Mayo. Somewhere in the Emerald Island, this I'd like to know. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? So there's that, and when we talked about accompanying a song, like I use Tell My Ma, you've got that polka beat. So the important thing is, first thing, identify the rhythm, find the beat, kind of strip it down to the bare beat, and then kind of go strip it down to its barest essentials, then start adding texture and tone back into it. Don't just start from being as busy as possible and just being noisy and cluttered, because accompaniment, and if you have a good groove and the rhythm drives it, it can be an effective way to sing especially a good rousing drinking song and get people clapping along. So there you go. Pick a song that you think might work well with percussion accompaniment and that you know well, and you think you can sing without somebody playing chords to help you out, and start breaking it down and give it a shot. A handy thing I found sometimes is on my iPad, I've got a drone generator, which basically it's an app that lets you push a button and say C. It'll give you like a C chord that just rings out like a boing, and you can use that to kind of sing over top of to help keep you on pitch, or just do your best. Doesn't matter if you waver a little bit, as long as you stay close to one key. All right, have fun, and maybe if you feel like you've got something good, share some videos on YouTube and tag me on them, and I'd love to see what you get up to.